Cooped Up with Kerrie. Shit, we say.
Cooped Up.
Cooped Up. Cooped Up. People are starting to join now. There we go. There we go.
What's up, people?
How are you? What's going on?
How the heck are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It is pouring ass rain here right now. If you look out my window, it looks like a monsoon is happening at the moment.
And dreary and cloudy and misty
And
and rainy.
wonderful.
And I am here for it.
It's like the fall.
Those of us in Texas, this is what we wait on.
And tomorrow's
Hi,
high.
Cheryl.
Yeah, tomorrow's high is Mama. Is 73.
Yes.
And the warm up progresses until Sunday when the high is only 89 degrees.
Yes.
I know. I love it. I love a rainy day and all of that. As long as I don't got shit to do. Although I had to pick up the kids in carpool line, and I opened the door, and they jump in, and it is starting to rain, and I'm like, "Hurry up! It's real leather. Get in!
Get your ass in there! You're roughing up the rawhide.
Car so that y'all could run the inside of it.
Get your asses. Better keep it in good shape. It's going to be yours and
they're not going to drive a Range Rover.
6 years.
Not because it's too bougie, but because that car won't be worth shit in 6 years. I don't want it broken down on the side of I-30.
I mean, hey. No, I'm excited because the temperatures look like, for now, fingers crossed, the next 10 days are 80s, 70s. So maybe we're done. I hate to say it. I don't want to say it. I know.
Don't jinx it. We're gonna cuss your name. I think that we're not supposed to hit 90 again, like in any time in the extended forecast. So I'm there for that. So
maybe we're done with the summer.
Maybe we're done. Okay, so the big news of the day that I want to talk to you about. And I think you and I share the same view on this. The Kardashians announced yesterday that Keeping Up with the Kardashians is going off the air after 19 seasons. 19 seasons. And most people are like, thank God, that show was the worst thing ever, blah, blah, blah. I have the other opinion. So I never really watched the show. I don't watch those kind of reality shows that much. And, people are always telling me, oh, you should have your own show. I'm like, I don't want a show like that. I don't like those. I don't like those shows that much. I don't like the Housewives that much. I don't like any of them. But I don't think that they're horrible. And in the case of the Kardashians, I think that they kind of invented the genre, right? Of just kind of following it wasn't set up. It wasn't like Real World, which was like a setup, or Amazing Race, which is a game show or something like that. This was just like following people, right?
Yeah.
And then people will say that, well, they're only famous for being famous. I call 100% bullshit on that. I actually think that they are all probably extremely smart. I'm a big fan of Kim Kardashian. I just think that she is, everything I've read about her, seen, all of that, is that she is one of the hardest fucking working people in Hollywood. And she earns every dollar she gets. Like she is really, really invested in all of this. And Savvy and Kris Jenner. I saw Ryan Seacrest earlier talking about her, and granted, he's in bed with her vigorously.
She makes him a lot of money.
Yes, but he says that she is the smartest business person that he has ever met, and I agree with that. I
don't doubt it.
And I promise you, and I told you this yesterday on a text. I promise you that they're not just ending it because they want to end it. There's something else coming.
Yeah.
There's something else coming. Sort of like when Fixer Upper on HGTV is abruptly ended. It was like, there's something else coming, and there was. They're getting their own network. Now I don't know if the Kardashians are getting their own network. Probably not, but because that's a little bit different than the Gaineses. But still, I think that. I just think that they get a bad rap. They're like, oh, she's only famous because she made that sex tape. It's like, no, that's not. She was going to be famous either way. Two,
that's just a part of the marketing and PR now, sweetie.
And wasn't she on Paris Hilton's show?
She was Paris Hilton's best friend at the time. Yeah.
I thought she was just like the closet organizer or something.
She ended up starting out that way, and then they ended up becoming friends. So around the time that Paris and Nicole, I think, had that show, and Paris was super, super popular. Kim was going to all the parties with Paris and riding her coattails. So that's how she got into the limelight. But,
I think that is so. but she knew all the angles to work and all of that stuff. I also think that she is gorgeous, and I know that it's not it's not totally real. I get that, but I do think that she is really, really pretty. I think she's like 4'11" though. Supposedly they are miniature little pocket people.
Except for Chloe.
Well, the funny thing about Chloe is that she always is like, everyone's like, oh, she's the big one. She's the big one. I bet she is actually not really that big.
Well, she looks great now. I mean, she looked great before. I liked it before because she did have a little bit of a different representation. I've always liked Chloe. Chloe's my favorite.
Yeah.
Because she was the business head. I mean, obviously she didn't make the greatest choices in relationships, but nobody did out of that whole crew.
What's this line?
Huh?
Is that one with Scott?
No, that's Courtney.
Courtney. Yeah. Okay, never mind.
Courtney's the oldest. She looks like the youngest. She's the oldest. But I love Chloe because she's also so business minded as well. What'd you say?
She looks like an even tinier
she's
little.
Teeny.
Like,
yeah,
like
she's teeny tiny.
Person.
And she had the babies first and kind of settled down first, and then she's gone through a whole thing, having been separated from Scott. But I'm with you. I think they manage. Now, what people don't like is that they manage, they PR, they, advertise themselves. But I mean, it is a well-run business what they do. And Kris Jenner as the momager, she's smart.
And everyone's like, well, Kylie, she's not really self-made. I'm like, the numbers may not be what they said they were, but that bitch is self-made. Now, she may have had a head start.
Yeah, she did have a head start.
She made everything from that point on. I just don't think that's like saying that someone is not self-made just because their dad was a doctor and they had some money to go to a good college or something, right? Like, I just think that it's not like she was handed the company. She built it.
Yeah.
And then did you hear that, these apps that they have, which I've never seen one of them, but I know that I was reading about it, that they have these apps in the App Store, like for your phone, and they make like millions of dollars a month on those apps. Like people, I think the apps are free. I think it's all in-app purchases. I was doing a little reading earlier about this.
Yeah. So the premise as a whole of them, I'm fine with as far as the way they promoted themselves. Kim has managed them. It's like, why to run another person down from that? And I like some of the things they all do. And I like Chloe the best because, she went off and did her own show, Revenge Body. It was an amazing show. 2 seasons, if anybody watched it. I hope she picks it back up. It kind of stopped when she went through
Revenge Body, is that what it was called?
Revenge Body. It stopped when she was going through all the divorce stuff with
Lamar.
What's his name? Lamar. But the thing I don't like about what they do, and I think it's just a caveat of what the business that they're in, it's the body imagery and the things that they promote, and it's not even so much them, it's the young girls that follow them and just eat, breathe, and live everything they do. And I'm like, it's not real though. It's not attainable.
Those fake lips that they do.
Oh, they were all doing the Kylie thing, the suction thing to get their lips huge. And
I do think that's dangerous. I don't like that part of it.
Yeah, that part I don't like. But again, that comes back to your point before. It falls a little bit more on the parents to kind of be watching what their kids are digesting and doing every day.
People claim to be, specifically people who are conservative, claim to be like, no, I don't want the school teaching my kids about sex. I need to be teaching my kids about sex. Or no, I don't want. But then they're letting them watch all this shit and do all this stuff. And they're like, okay. Yeah. And Sandy agrees that they are a very smart business family and all gorgeous. What's funny? It reminds me of same subject, but a little bit different, about how sizes of people. So I had Cindy Crawford, right? Supermodel Cindy Crawford. I always, in my mind, she was not waif-like. She's a more like volleyball build. She's like a broader
classic beauty.
Yeah, but like a bigger, more curvaceous, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I thought she was a big person. So I actually got the opportunity to meet her in Los Angeles like 6 years ago. She is a tiny little person also.
Yes.
Everyone, we went to the grand opening, whatever, of the movie Tomorrowland at the Hollywood premiere of it. All the celebrities were there. And we were right on the purple carpet is what they had. And I saw her there and was standing next to her. And everyone was miniature, by the way. I felt like it was like gargantuan, like.
Is he a character in the movie? No, he's just a person.
I know, and not only are they little this way, they're little this way too. And so, like Cindy Crawford, who I always thought was like larger than most
Gazelle.
other, yeah, is so she's just larger than really small people.
Yeah.
She herself was teeny tiny, and her husband was teeny tiny, and all of that. So yeah,
I know it's never what you think when you. Well, first of all, we make them up to be larger than life, so automatically they're not going to live up to our thoughts. And it's also like when you used to listen to the radio back when people listened to the radio, and then you would finally see the DJ or the person behind the mic, and you'd be like,
yeah,
such
exactly.
a disconnect.
I know. Remember when Rick Dees was on, and he had the late night talk show, and you're like, but you're a dork.
Yeah.
You're a total dork. Like,
you're like a total little small geeky guy. Okay.
Yeah. Like how what? Like you sound so cool on the radio.
Casey Kasem, Dick Clark, they're all short little guys.
Oh, nice. At least Dick Clark had a TV show also. Yeah. We were talking about Paris Hilton earlier. So she was on CBS Sunday Morning this weekend. Which,
I gotta go back and watch that.
That's one of the ways that you know you're an older person is when you watch it, especially if you watch it live. I DVR it, which also means I'm old. But I think CBS News is the best news on TV. They don't get all like sensationalist and all that stuff. But anyway.
But CBS Sunday Morning is like one of the best shows on TV.
It's such a good show. Yeah. And Paris Hilton was on it talking about, she's got a book or a documentary or something coming out, I think, about her life. And she was specifically talking about there's this part of her life that, so she was a horrible child and was sent away to boarding school. And one of the final boarding school she went to was this like rehabilitation center in Provo, Utah, that was like really hardcore. They beat them, like physically beat them. They verbally berated them. And she supposedly has been like suppressing. The minute she turned 18, she emancipated herself and got out of there, right?
Yeah.
And left. And so she was talking about this, but the interview is so bad because they're sitting there and they're by the pool at her parents' house. First of all, she's like, "Yeah, this is my parents' house." And I think that is also a lasting thing from the Kardashians that I do not forgive them for either.
The vocal fry.
Yeah. But anyway, so she's sitting there and they're generally trying to interview her. And there's the woman who's interviewing. She typically is a more Hollywood one. And you can tell she has tried to dress up to be like hip and cool. And it just looks like an older woman dressing hip and cool. So that part, I'm like, this episode.
Was it Jane Pauley or no?
No, Jane Pauley doesn't do it. Jane Pauley just anchors it. She doesn't actually do any of the things anymore. Her son's name is Cooper, by the way. But it was, I can't remember the woman's name, but she was wearing like some hooker pumps, like big platform stilettos and like a little dress and all that kind of stuff. She's trying to look like, hey, I'm cool down with the kids. Yeah. So first of all, there was that. There was so many disconnects in this, but they were asking Paris a question like, so Paris, so it was a really hard time when you were at that school, right? Like you really, really were suffering. Yeah. like that was her whole answer. Yeah. Her eyes would kind of close like her sedatives had just kicked in. Like it was so weird. And the lady would be like, oh yeah, it was so bad because according to your documentary, they beat you. Yeah. And then you emancipated yourself when you were 18. Yeah. Like it was like I was like, oh my God. This is good television.
Her PR people must have been like, shit.
I know. Or they are just like, she's making a new audience with the elders watching CBS.
Yeah. I will say that whole reality TV era, like the Kardashians and her, that whole chunk of them do have that vocal fry, and they have that, they have this thing about them. Like they were the influencers before we called them influencers, right? So they just have this whole dialect and this way about them that sometimes, gets on my nerves. Yeah.
Andy, I do believe she was high. She was high or low. I don't know if it's high or low. She was definitely not stable.
I don't know what the elder millennials are doing these days.
Oh, I know. That comedy is so good. Go to Netflix and watch Elder Millennial. It's a stand-up act.
Eliza Schlesinger.
Yes, it is so good. They're so good.
Yeah, if you guys have not seen, I mean, technically you and I are elder millennial. I'm right on the cusp. You're just over.
I'm late 1974.
Yeah, so we are right on the cusp. I think it's like
I thought
79
I
or
thought
70.
millennial was 80.
I thought it ended in 77 or 79. I don't know. It's right close to when I was born. So we are right just barely in the
I'm on the young end of Gen X. I do
Gen
know
X.
that.
Yeah, we are the young end of Gen X. We're right on the cusp between that. Yeah. But yeah, there's that whole area of those. I don't know, Nicole Richie was that way too, but then she went and got married and turned out to be normal. But there's a girl on TikTok who impersonates Kourtney Kardashian to the T. I'll send her next time I see her come across because she's gone viral. And Kourtney's the worst out of all three of them. She's like, yeah, Scott. She sings songs, everything. She's like, yeah, whatever.
Get to it.
Yeah, you're like. That's why I never watch the show because I'm like, say it. Use your words.
Put it in double speed, like double it up, speed it up.
Let's get it out. Get it out.
I told everyone yesterday. I don't think you heard that I'm not drinking for 3 weeks. We've made it. That's day 2. This is day 2. I have my iced tea and my Yeti.
You going through detox?
So that's what I was going to talk to you about. I've had a low-grade headache since like about 5 o'clock yesterday. Yeah. And so I Googled like the symptoms of alcohol withdrawal, which I'm not proud of this, but I'm having most of the symptoms of alcohol withdrawal. Like if you're used to it at a certain time, like low-grade headache, which by the way, it's also all the symptoms of COVID. Like everything is the symptoms of COVID or allergies or whatever. But here's my worry. Now that I Googled alcohol withdrawal, am I about to get a bunch of fucking ads for Betty Ford Clinic and packages or any other places? Like I sometimes worry that like my search engines, the stuff that we talk about here too, that it gets closed caption, the stuff that I'm going to be hearing about. Here's the thing. So we had to buy some shades for Claire's bedroom, and we bought some automated shades that they come down all at the same time and go up all at the same time. They're like on a remote control thing. So Todd was on sharing the or looking at the shades. I like within minutes, I'm scrolling Facebook on my phone. I am getting ad after ad after ad for shades.
It's scary.
And you know what it is, and we've talked about this before. It's not listening. That would take up too much data.
No, it's algorithms.
It is algorithms that know that like who your circle of influence is and who you might talk to about making purchases. And Todd had put him in his cart before and then revisited it. So it was already had an abandoned cart. And so sort of like when you were shopping for the Ruggable Rug things, I started seeing ads because it knew that you would probably talk to me about what you were wanting to buy, and I would at least then have some awareness of it, right? And so it was so weird, though. I mean, ads. I got ads. I mean, it was the Shade Store, Select Blinds, 1-800 Blinds, Blind Store, the blah blah. I mean, so many of them. It's cracking me up.
So if you kind of want some scary insight, this I'm going to go a little off topic, but it's related. The whole Big Brother thing. If you want some scary insight into what that looks like, there's a really great documentary last year from Netflix called The Great Hack. Now, this one is related to how the Cambridge, exploring how the data company named Cambridge Analytica came to symbolize the dark side of the social media during the presidential election.
I remember that.
So trigger warning that there's political things in it. But you get to see the inner workings, and the girl that has all the information and the one they follow. And then they follow 4 main people, so you get all sides of it. They'll explain to you in there how Facebook takes your data, and any company really, but Facebook, Google, and how all your data is mapped and sold. And the whole thing with Cambridge Analytica that they got slapped on the wrist for was they were buying the data points from Facebook in order to pinpoint people during the election, like the fake news and all that. That's how all that came to be. The movie is fascinating. It's called The Great Hack.
I don't mind like being targeted at things that I actually like, or that they know I like, or that they know I'm shopping for. Like half the time I'll go to a website and shop for something and not buy it, knowing full well that I'm going to get a coupon or something in the next day or two for it. Like I don't mind stuff. If it's helpful, I don't mind it. It's when it gets into like manipulation of what I'm thinking about and stuff. That's where.
Well, they claimed, Cambridge Analytica, I just dropped the link for anybody interested in Netflix. Cambridge Analytica claimed from Facebook that they had 5,000 data points on any American in the United States. 5,000. So if you guys want to know how your information is stored and what that means, go watch that Netflix documentary. I've watched it twice. It's that good.
Kim Heck wants to know, now are all of us going to get shady ads about detox centers? My apologies. You tune in to watch a drunk who then goes sober. I don't know what you're in for. Sorry.
Well, I recently, also, if you buy through Instagram ads like I do all the time, or Instagram stuff, I got into those liquid hydration powders you mix into your water. And I just bought one to try it. And now apparently everyone thinks I'm dying of hydration because who knew there were that many companies out there? And I started to compare them all because that shit ain't cheap. So y'all, Liquid IV is the next one I'm going to try. I got this because Labor Day sale had 30% off.
Really?
This shit is not cheap. It's like, this is a 16 pack. They had 30% off, but they're like, for about 32 packets, it's like $36-$40.
Yeah,
it's not cheap.
It's like $1 a packet. And I used to buy the Pedialyte, which I'm not proud of, but I used to go get Pedialyte because it helps with hangovers, or if I would take it at night before going to bed, so that if I had too much to drink, that the booze wouldn't be killing me. And I switched to Advocare's Rehydrate,
which I like, and you get that for me, and I like it. I'm just stuck at work, and I don't have any. But I just dropped 2 in the chat. I've tried the Drip Drop, and I'm about to try the liquid hydration. They work. Do they work? Yes, I like it because I was feeling dehydrated, so I drink about 2 a day, and I just chug one when I come back, and I mix them into the big one. What is this one? The Swell bottle, 25 ounces.
I do one in the morning right after I wake up, just to kind of jumpstart.
Yeah, I do it right after I walk, which is right after the morning. So I mix it into 25 ounces to make it go farther instead of a bottle of water, and I do 2 of those a day. So I like it. But man, every company has come out of the woodwork offering me hydration because apparently they think I'm dying in a desert.
The thing about Liquid IV that I didn't like is, doesn't it have like a silky texture to it?
I don't know. This one, I've just got them in. I literally walked down and picked up my package.
One of the ones I've tried have like a viscous texture to it, and I don't like it.
Oh, the slick texture, like a silky?
Yeah. It's like a silky, slick texture.
Drip Drop does not. I've drank Drip Drop, and it does not.
And Rehydrate doesn't. Pedialyte, if you buy Pedialyte already mixed, it does. But if you buy the powder, it does not.
Okay, I'm going to tell you real quick. I wish I had one of the Drip Drop ones. I'm going to call bullshit on this packaging. They have air in them, which, okay, whatever, because the bag is different. The stuff is it's right here. That's as much as the stuff. Drip Drop's packaging is half slender, about that short, and the whole thing is full of the powder. Why package it when your powder goes to here? Why package it with air in it?
That's machinery or something.
Makes your package look huge.
Yeah.
It makes your package look huge.
Everyone likes that. Well, it's the same thing when you go buy like computer software and you open it and it's just like, and no one does this anymore, but it used to be, it was a little disc, but then it had a huge box with it, right? Yeah.
Do you remember, kids, throwing it way back. Do you remember when Walmart, or probably Target, but I didn't grow up with a Target, started selling cassettes and DVDs? They would sell them on that plastic frame so they could stand them all up in the tiers, and you could look at them, and then you could reach your hand through the hole so you could flip it around and look at the songs on the back and put it. You had to have it unlock the cabinet, remember, to get your tape or your. So you couldn't steal it. You couldn't steal it.
Sell some of them with in like cardboard boxes.
Yes.
And my mom is saying, does it have electrolytes? Yes, that's basically like Gatorade, but less. Gatorade has a ton of calories.
But this is not. This is like this one's actually got more calories than Drip Drop. Drip Drop only had 30. This has 45.
Mine has 40. I think.
Cheryl, it's 2 to 3 times more hydration than water alone. 3 times the electrolytes. 5 essential vitamins. That's kind of your and they call it an ORS system. It's like an ORS is like a patented not chemicals, but way to get hydration into your body quickly. They actually use these on football teams, and police officers use these because they get dehydrated so quickly.
2 Weight Watchers points on the purple plan.
Oh, for real? That would not be worth it at all. Well,
no, I get daily 23 points on my purple
45
plan.
calories is 2 points.
Well, it depends on what it is. Like if it's the points aren't just straight up calories. Some of it is computed on like how easy it is to overindulge in it, or
Right.
blah 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 blah.
Or
blah.
this has no fiber, no protein, so that doesn't
Yeah,
cancel out some of the caloric.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
My mom drinks Propel Mix every day. Hey, watch it. I'm on. Don't just storm in. No, the camera is right there. No, they were about to come in and knock the camera down, or
the light.
light. It's right in front of the door.
You need a little sign to hang on the door outside.
It would not matter. It would not matter. I need to lock the fucking doors. What I need to do. That is the only. I just hear. I'm sure you could hear it coming. I'm like, me yelling at my kids. What else is new? This episode of Cooped Up. What's he yelling about this time?
They've gone back to school. They're supposed to be quieter.
Oh my god! But they're not allowed to do anything, so they don't get their energy out. Like they sit like in little prison cells and just ride all day.
So they don't let them go outside and run around?
They do. They go outside and run around.
God.
They do that. But it's not like our school originally and normally is set up with where they don't even have desks. It's open seated. They have tables and couches and beanbags, and they can just do whatever feels good in that moment. They don't even have assigned seats, right? Well, right now they do. They all have assigned little desks with plexiglass around them and all of that. So,
my girl.
I need a Snickers. Yes.
You're not you and you're hungry. Yes, Sarah.
That's the other thing about. Oh shoot!
It was like
going downhill slowly. The other thing is, I am always fucking hungry, and it is not even like I'm not starving hungry. It is my body is always like, hey, this is not what you're supposed to be doing.
Hey, poking. Hey, can you give me something to eat?
Yeah, I need some, I'm a little peckish. And let me tell you, yesterday was the first day I was not drinking. My body was like, bitch, it is 6 o'clock, and normally you have 700 additional calories by now. Where's the Chardonnay calories? Let's get to getting.
Yeah, it's true. Whenever you start something like that and you deny your body, it's like, hey.
And Aaron is right. I mean, right on the money. You need a glass of Chardonnay. I do, but I'm not going to. I can't quit night 2. Now, I'm not going to say I'm going to make it all 3 weeks. I probably will. I'll give in on the weekend. I have a box of wine in the fridge that allegedly keeps for 6 weeks. I've never needed to keep a box of wine for 6 weeks, but let's put it to the test. At least 3 weeks. Like, maybe, I don't know how that works. My problem is I have the issue where you can't eat just one. Like it is for me, it's like if I'm gonna pour a glass of wine, I might as well pour a fucking bottle of wine.
Yeah.
That's
so I'll just give you this one caveat because I'm not that you know me, like I'm not that person when it comes to discussing food plans or dieting or whatever you want to call it. Like I don't usually glam on because like I just let people have their discussion about it. But I do have rules. If I'm ever sitting at a Thanksgiving or a Christmas dinner and anybody starts bringing up whatever fucking shit they're on, I don't care if it's keto, Whole30, shut your goddamn mouth. No, you put the fat pants on, you commit for the whole goddamn day, and you shut the fuck up.
Or don't show up.
I will shut you down at the holiday eating table if you say anything about anything.
If you go to something like that. Also, I hate it when people you have friends and you invite them over for dinner for the weekend, like a dinner party, and they're like, well, I'm not eating this and I'm not eating that and I'm not eating that. I'm like, are you actually allergic to it? Like I can appreciate, because I have a pretty strong sour cream allergy. You don't want to feed me sour cream at your house because you'll have to reupholster your chairs.
Yeah.
But other than that,
it's true.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a hardcore digestive allergy.
It's a hard pass for you. Hard pass.
Yeah, for real. Well, it's a really soft fast pass actually.
But you know, people have. I mean, I love to cook and entertain. So if you've got dietary restrictions, I'm all about it. But don't turn our dinner party into a discussion about your plan or what you're doing. You know. But the only thing I was going to say to you about the hunger thing. I've been doing intermittent fasting since January, and that has completely, which would you think would be the opposite because you fast, it has completely wiped out my hangry or hunger. I don't ever really get hangry, but it has wiped out my hungriness. And I usually just eat one big meal in the day. I'll eat when I first eat, and then I'll snack or eat a small meal for dinner before I stop eating. And I'm shocked at how much it's changed.
So the hard thing with that is that when you have kids and you diet, you either have to make yourself something different than them or you just eat the same things. And so I'm forcing them to eat Like we're doing the air fryer chicken tonight.
Yep.
And I'm still going to put mayonnaise on it. And I'll just be like, it's fine. It's just a little marinade. It's not a lot.
Just
I'll
a
kind
little
of
marinade.
points.
Speaking of, you used the salad supreme recently, right? You texted me. You
so
put the salad supreme in the mayo.
I do, and the kids call it orange chicken now because it turns the mayo orange, and then it cooks and it's orange. So the kids are like, "Can we have the orange chicken?" Which I love it. I love it. So
yeah, salad supreme. You guys have heard us talk about it before. The spice. Get it.
I need to look at the ingredient list and see where sugar is, because sugar is the enemy.
It's not bad. Let me see. I'll look it up for you right now because McCormick's makes it.
Yeah. So, and then you're traveling soon, right?
Yes. So I am finally getting out among the COVID land. I'm going at the end of the month. Me and the boy are going to Memphis, road tripping that. So no flights. And then, sorry if my light's changing. I'm looking up the stuff for you. And then Mark and I have decided to go to Northern California at the end of October and might do some wineries. That's not really the point. We want to go to the Muir Woods and we just kind of want to sightsee, mostly outdoor stuff. So we're going to fly into Oakland and rent a car. So,
that's great.
Yeah, so we've decided we're going to do that, but we're going to be really cautious and try not to be around people. But, you know, I've been avoiding a lot of things, but then I was like, well, how long is it going to be before it's normal again to get on a flight? If it's going to be another year, then we need to learn how to do this.
So here is the thing. So I actually was watching and reading about this very issue. Do you know the most dangerous part of flying for COVID right now is the airport?
It's not I would imagine, yeah, because the plane. I told him the planes are really clean.
Well, did you know that airplanes, their entire air supply in an airplane is fully exchanged like every 3 minutes.
Yep.
Like there's not a single breath of air left in the plane 3 minutes after it was expelled from someone's mouth.
And they got HIPAA filters and
that's actually part of the way. That's actually part of the way that most airplanes aren't even recirculating the air very much. The way they keep the airplane pressurized is that they let the air out the back and the intake brings in new air, and that intake is what is holding the pressure in. Yeah. And with the valve, they control it. So they're not even really, I mean, I guess there is some recirculation, but for the most part, it's outdoor air that you're breathing. It's just been pressurized. And that's because if they didn't, it would eventually lose pressure and it could not keep the pressure. So it's all like fresh air. Like it's
we're flying Southwest right now on their website. They're saying on the website, it says no middle seats at least through October 31st. So we're flying out like the 27th, coming back November 2nd. So at least we know there won't be packed planes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the terminals, right? So we're just going to keep away as much as we can. Yeah, wear masks. I might double mask it. I don't know. And
are you an N95 maybe? They're super uncomfortable, but
I do have a KN95, which I've worn. Like I wore that when I went to IKEA and had to breeze through and pick up some stuff. 45 minutes. I was like dying by the time I got out because
I have one.
Like so restricted.
Occasionally, and I'm about to die.
And I was sweating, my face was sweating. But yeah, we decided if we got to that point, if for some reason the country just gone to shit again, we would just reschedule.
Yeah.
Hey, Claire.
What's up?
But yeah, I'm going to do Memphis at the end of the month, and that'll be mostly walking around outside and going to places. So
that's good.
We're going to choose New Orleans, but New Orleans bars are closed. So there's really, if you can't do live music and bars in New Orleans.
So this right here that you just witnessed is an example of how everything operates in this house. This is how I know I'm the default parent. So even though I am on fucking television or whatever this is, and there is another human adult in the house, I am still the one who gets the door open, step past the ring light, walks around the desk, fully knows that I'm on live to ask me if she can go walk the dogs right now. There's another grown-ass adult in this house. That is how you know you're the default parent. If they will fucking walk past you or interrupt you. Yes.
It's true. Pam just traveled. She's saying most shops, restaurants, and terminals are closed or very short hours. Yeah. So
that's good.
Pam knows because she got stuck last time we had those big storms. She was stuck in New Orleans trying to get back here, and they were stuck in a terminal with nothing to eat. Everything was shut down.
Oh man.
They brought stuff. The Southwest people brought the snacks and the drinks off the plane, and were feeding people in the terminal.
Oh, well, that's sweet. They're good about it.
They were super nice about it.
Well, good. Well, I have that. We went to Muir Woods. I guess 2 summers ago we went.
That's right, you did, yeah.
Oh my God, like otherworldly. Like it feels like you're in a science fiction movie.
Yes.
Like because you think that they're big and tall, but they're not so big. They're not like the sequoias. They're not like you can't drive a car through them. They're pretty like normal sized. Well, maybe bigger than normal sized, but they're not huge.
Yeah.
But they are so fucking tall.
Yeah.
And there are some little routes also, like little trails that most people don't get off like the wooden boardwalk that cuts through it. But there are some like dirt trails that you can walk, and you can like walk across fallen trees and stuff. And these are all marked paths, so it's great. Do those because one of them takes you right up to the top of the canopy. It is so cool.
Oh, really? Yeah. See, I would want to do that. Yeah.
And they're not overly strenuous either.
He was like, whenever we really wanted to go to New York, and I didn't realize because Pam's traveling to Massachusetts and she had to do that molecular COVID test, or she's going to have to. And I thought New York was doing that too, but no, New York is like absolutely not unless you're quarantining here for 2 weeks, like nothing. So we abandoned New York, and he was like, I really need nature and like something to humble me. I was like, let's go to North California then.
Beautiful. And also from there, you can drive up the coast some more, and there's like another state park there that has all of the seals and stuff. We tried to go up there, but turns out it was closed when we were there. They were rehabbing something, and so we couldn't get in. But
seals. Okay, I'll look that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. Fingers crossed. That's the plan at the end of October.
And if you want to go a little further south of there, I mean, just like barely like an hour, Carmel by the sea is there, and it is so gorgeous.
I think we might do Carmel too.
It is cold. It is even in like September, July, and August. It is cold there.
So it'll be cold in October for sure.
It'll be. I think Mark Twain has a famous quote, or at least they say it was Mark Twain that said, "The coldest I've ever been was that summer in San Francisco," or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm probably paraphrasing it. Yeah, exactly.
Well, we'll see. I'll have to look that up. Thank you for the tips.
By the way,
anybody else has any other tips for Northern California?
Today.
You got a little what? Oh, you got a trim.
I did. I had to get rid of the mullet part in the back, and so I went to the little. I called ahead. Little salon here. It's a huge salon, but they only had 3 people working. Everyone was in masks. It was. I mean, if I was going to take a risk, this is the one to take, and I just needed to get some of this cut off. And so, unfortunately, most of my blonde went away.
Yeah, because
I wanted to stay longer because I actually am enjoying the longer cut, but they just cleaned it up some and took all of the weight. He actually lifted it up and cut a bunch of stuff under it, like to thin it out because it was so heavy.
Yeah,
it felt like I'm wearing a fucking wool. I mean, the walks, the 2 to 3 mile walks I'm doing every day. By the end, I'm like, can someone take this hat off? It is so. I don't know how women do it. How do women fucking exercise without going and getting the like lesbian buzz cut? Because I could not do it. I mean, it was so hot.
Yeah. Welcome to our, we get the bun life or I have a hat I wear every morning on walks, and I have to rinse my hair out.
You got it on your head. Like it's,
Yeah.
Well, and this was because I wear the bandanas and the collared shirts sometimes. It was also starting to sit on the collar. I was like,
oh yeah, that would annoy me.
Michelle Condrea is saying, I spent 2 hours drinking beer with Clint Eastwood at a golf club in Carmel in the 1970s.
That is a memory to behold.
It is. He was the mayor of Carmel for a while, I think.
Oh, really?
His wife was the sheriff, I think. And Carmel is so pretty.
Yeah.
It's so gorgeous. We stay at the place called this little hotel there called the Tickle Pink Inn. I know it's
I'm gonna Google that now.
Google Tickle Pink Inn. It's a maximum capacity of 2 per room, so we can't stay there one more kids. It's in Carmel Highlands, which is like 10 minutes south of downtown, and it is so cute, beautiful. The views are insane from there.
Oh yeah, the Big Sur.
Yeah, and it's barely it's barely as you're starting to get into like the really rocky terrain. They call it Carmel Highlands right there, but it's wonderful. It's a great hotel. The Tickle Pink Inn. It doesn't sound great, but sounds funny. It's an old like motor inn that they've converted into just this really beautiful. I mean, honestly, I would say I would put it up there in terms of like the quality of the room furnishings, up there with the mansion at Turtle Creek. It was not expensive though, but like really plush. Every room had a fireplace in it, or a lot of the rooms did at least. It was really, really cute.
I'm checking the room rates. Yeah, what a beautiful view.
The view is like bonkers.
4:30 a night.
Oh, wow. You know how I roll.
For an ocean view room. I mean, you'd think they'd come off of that a little bit, considering people aren't. I'll do some searching.
Well, who knows? It may be high season. I don't know what October is for them.
I don't think so.
They're like changing or something around there, or I don't know.
Because a lot of hotel rates I've been looking up. I'm staying at a Hilton Curio Concept, which if anybody's followed me long enough, they know when I stay in Hilton Curios, I shoot a video because they're so freaking cute. But they're boutique. It's a boutique hotel line that they do when Hilton goes and buys an old building and totally renovates it. So I've stayed at London House in Chicago, and in Memphis, they took the old rail depot, like a 9-story building, and turned it into a Hilton Curio. And we got that for like $108 a night.
Really?
Yes, in Memphis. Yes. I'll look at this because I could maybe find this on some of my apps for cheaper, but it's beautiful. I see what you mean. It's really pretty.
Yeah, it's really, really pretty. And then when we have the kids, we'll stay at the place next door. It's a Sheridan vacation rental place, and it's called like Sheridan Highlands or something like that. It's really nice too. Gorgeous views. That part is the views, because Carmel itself doesn't have any hotels, I don't think. Or it may have like one hotel, because it's mostly residential. So adorable, though.
Carmel by the Sea.
It is adorable. The real estate is like crazy expensive, too.
Oh, I bet it's so tiny. Oh, my gosh. This must cost a ton of money to live here.
If you tear a house down, you're not allowed to. You can only build on the same foundation that was there before.
Oh, it's just down from Pebble Beach. Okay. I don't know California very well.
Yes, it's right next to it. Pebble Beach touches it. Like, because you do that 17-mile drive or something. There's 2 entrances or no, there's at least one entrance directly out of like Carmel, right by downtown.
Yep, I see it now.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you're right. 17-mile drive. The road. Yeah.
That's right there, and that's a really pretty drive too. So I don't know if you're going that far south though. It sounds like you're going to go more north.
Well, you say if it's close to. Well, we're going to fly into. Let me back out. We're going to fly into Oakland.
I don't know. I don't know exactly how all of that works. I think it might be closer to SFO because it's just around the corner. Like
it is. It's just down from San Fran, but that's not too bad. I mean, it's not.
It's really pretty.
We're right there between San Fran and Berkeley. Like Oakland's like just south of Berkeley.
Yeah, awesome.
We could totally get on the PCH.
That's
drive it down there.
Yeah, that's what we did. And that part's easy. That part's not a terrifying part of the PCH.
Okay.
It's only once you get south of actually like Big Sur, like the town of Big Sur or whatever it's called, and then you get into the cliffs of Big Sur for like 3 hours of driving. It is like white knuckling. It is gorgeous, but it is terrifying. And also, if you're in that area, there's a little restaurant. They have these ambrosia hamburgers that are so good. It's called Nepenthe, and you sit out and you can see the whale. The last time we were there, you couldn't see any whales, but the first time we went, it was like Disney had produced a whale ballet. Like it was just.
How do you spell that restaurant?
MEP Nepenthe. Nepenthe. Nepenthe.
Oh, there it is.
Greek name. Yeah.
Nepenthe.
So beautiful. I mean, the restaurant itself is nothing to write home about. The food is good, but the views are just like
the views. Our famous ambrosia burger, a version of ground steak sandwich served on a French roll with our famous ambrosia sauce.
Really good. Really good.
So. $19.
Well, that's the view. You're paying for the view.
Yeah.
And usually the wait's like an hour and a half, so you just drink on the patio. And although I don't know now if it's like that. So
good to know. Well, yeah, I'm currently planning some stuff. We don't mind driving, and we don't mind being away from people and being in a car and driving as long as we're going somewhere.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah.
What else? Have you bought anything lately? We got about 5 minutes left.
I bought the thing. I don't know if Pam is still on. Pam, your tub mushroom came in. I've been telling Pam about the tub mushroom.
This thing is so sexy right here.
I'm telling you, people.
We've got one. Our dog. We put one in our.
This is where it's at.
dog washing sink in the garage that we use to wash the dogs. So this thing, you put it in the drain.
It might have been on Shark Tank. I don't know.
I think it was.
Directions.
It's definitely one of those as seen on TV things. So you put it in. So it's this little. It's like a weird little plug looking thing. It sticks up about a quarter of an inch through your drain when you do it, and then the water goes through it when it drains, and it catches all the hair, and it even catches like little miniature hairs.
Like I watched Frankie. She's a 5-pound min pin with tiny hairs, and it was like this high with her hair. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was. It is so. So my dogs are both poodle mixes, and they don't shed, so the hair comes off like crazy when you wash them.
Yeah.
And it catches everything. It's like a gross mat, but it is.
And you do so it'll sit in your tub, and after you wash your hair and it catches, just throw all your hair down there. It catches all of it. Then if you go to turn your shower on the next time, the water will start pooling, and that's how you know it's full. You just take it out. You do have to take your fingers, but it pulls off in one loop, like one gross loop, and you just throw that in your trash and stick it back down in your drain. But Pam, I have hair, and it's crazy. Pam has really thick Italian hair, and I was like, Pam, you got to get a tub shroom. So Pam, your tub shroom. She said, woohoo, your tub shroom's in, Pam. $12.99 at Amazon, people.
I think that's where I bought it too. I think it was on Amazon.
It's awesome. You just pull it out, throw your hair, put it back down in there.
Else. If you make that drive to Carmel, you have to stop in Monterey Bay at the Monterey Bay Aquarium. Even if you're not a big aquarium fan, this one is like one of the world's best. It is so cool. It's a really, really cool aquarium.
So how far now is I'm going to do Carmel?
Monterey Bay is between San Francisco and Carmel, so it's
so it would be on the way. Okay.
Yeah, and it's expensive. It's like $40 to get in, but it is such a good, beautiful aquarium, and it's just wonderful. So there's a restaurant there too. I have to remember if there's a hotel that you can valet. Because the problem with Monterey Bay is that it is like crowded, no place to park. So there's a hotel where they have a restaurant that is actually a fantastic restaurant that is like 5 steps away from the or maybe a block from the
aquarium,
and you can valet park your car there and eat, and then they validate it, and then and then you go, and then you come back. It's great.
Yeah, I see. It's just right there, like on the little thing that pops out. Monterey Bay is there, and then Carmel by the Sea is there.
Michelle wants to know, are any of these places or any of the fires near those places? I think the fires are in Southern California.
Southern for right now. Yeah.
I think
Southern. And by that time of year, it won't be fire season. End of October, early November.
Hopefully, I think everything's fire season right now.
Well, I think it started getting rains, right? The rainy.
The world is on fire.
Yeah, it's not. Well, considering Denver was almost 100 2 days ago, and then they had snow this morning.
I know, crazy.
It's all up for
at the end of October. Make sure you early vote so that you don't accidentally miss the window to vote if you are trapped there or something. So
that's true, because we'll be coming back, and then it's oh God, we get back on. Do I get back on election day?
Like the 3rd or the 4th or the 5th.
Oh, okay, no. We get it back on the 2nd, and then it's the next day. It's Super Tuesday, the 3rd.
Yeah.
Woo.
Something like that.
Yeah, I early vote, so I'll make sure I go early vote.
Peter is saying he just flew down the entire western seaboard. The entire coast is on fire right now. I've heard that Seattle is having fires also right now.
Oh, Seattle, yeah. Yeah, I just don't think that time of year, though, it'll be that, because that's the rainier time for them. So.
And actually, Pam is saying Napa and Sonoma are having fires right now, too.
Yeah. Yeah, the year before, Pam, that your trip got messed up because freaking Napa caught fire?
He's saying the north is bad. So maybe the northern ones, so the southern one I think that we were talking about is just the one that dumbass gender reveal party set on fire.
That was so dumb. By the way, the aquarium says temporarily closed.
For COVID, because it's a very enclosed. Obviously, it's enclosed because you can't be in an aquarium like that's open, because then it wouldn't be an aquarium. It's just looking at water. But yes.
Yeah. Let me Google California fires, because last week I was looking them up on the map because it'll put the little fire above everything.
Seattle's under a blanket of smoke. I have a friend there who posted about it, and Portland is grade A fucked. Oh yeah, and San Francisco is too, because I have a friend who posted a photo this morning at 9:30 in the morning, and it is so smoky that all the streetlights are still on.
Oh really?
9:30 in the morning. Yeah.
Let me see. Here's a fire map.
Hopefully by then it'll be over. So, alrighty. Well,
it's very smoky.
We're hitting 50 minutes now. So, All right. Well, everybody, thank you for watching. I know y'all love. We don't mind going long on Wednesdays because y'all like this. Although this one was much more like documentarian, like much more like
informative.
Not much more informative. Yes.
Cooper and I are gonna hang up now and enjoy our rainy weather and our Texas pre-fall.
I know. I'm looking at it. Stopped raining here, but it is.
They got these big black and white rolling clouds going by now.
I'll have to check that out.
This is weird because I always face out and the weather always goes south to north, and these clouds are going north to south. It's weird.
Weather change.
I know.
All righty. Well, thank you as always, Kerrie.
Thank you for having me.
And everybody else, and you too, Kerrie. I love you.
Love you too.
Everybody else, not you, Kerrie. I love
that
you.
Bitch.
Yeah, I love you. You are loved. It's important to know that. Thanks for watching, and I'll just get you on the flip side tomorrow. What, tomorrow's Thursday? Yeah, that's how the week works. Yes. I'm so fucked up from having Monday off. But alrighty, I'll see you tomorrow at 4:15 for another episode of Cooped Up Live.
Cooped Up.
Yes, talk to you later. Bye.